We have talked at length about my dating life and some of the questionable choices that I've made throughout my experiences. Now, it's time for us to talk about some of the standards that I've developed as a result of those questionable experiences, including some of the things that I absolutely require when dating someone and some of the things that aren't as much of a big deal to me anymore. Hey boo, this is Nika and I am pleasantly unbothered. Thank you so much for joining me for day 27 of Vlogtober. We are almost there, y'all. We have come so far. If you want to jump straight to the video about my deal breakers, you can go to this timestamp right here. That'll let you cut to the chase. But for the rest of us doing the confidence booster challenge, let's do our personal power phrases so that we can get that out of the way. I am beautiful, I am sexy, I am desirable. I am supported, I am valued, I am loved. There is so much more to me than my appearance. It is my right and responsibility to show up in this world exactly as I am. I have made it through 100% of my toughest days and I will not stop. I appreciate my intelligence, intuition, and emotional awareness. I love my unique sense of style and the way that I present myself. I am peaceful, I am calm, I am pleasantly unbothered. I am worthy of everything that I desire for myself. I love my own personal brand of sexiness and how attractive I've grown to become. I am grateful for my body and all that it has allowed me to do. I'm capable of even more than I could ever imagine. I believe in my ability to inspire others and impact the world in my own unique way. By being kind to myself and others, I'm encouraging others to do the same. I am loyal, I am supportive, I am understanding. I'm worthy of happy, healthy, positive relationships. I am a great mom and I do the best that I can for my daughter every single day. It's like butter, baby. Done. Done and done. Ooh, almost there. 3 more days to go. Yes, give me a little bit of something. Give me a little bit of this real quick. All right, so deal breakers. Let's finally get into it. This video was initially inspired by those memes that used to be floating around, the build your perfect man type of meme. It'll say something like you have $100 and you have to use that to purchase, I guess, your perfect man. So if you want a man that's loyal, that's like $30. If you want a man that's good in bed, that's like $50. If you want a man that's successful or rich or something, that's another $60, and you have to come up with some combination without exceeding your budget, basically. And these memes are obviously meant to be funny and meant to highlight the qualities that some of us favor over ones that we don't. Because, for example, if you wanted a man that was both wealthy and good in bed, you didn't have enough money to afford that. Also, if you wanted a man who was a great communicator and also faithful, those might be the only 2 desirable qualities that you could afford. And so for me, it really made me start to think about the kind of qualities that I absolutely look for in someone and the ones that I'm like, it would be nice to have, but it's not like I need it. You know what I mean? And so of course, nobody's gonna be turning down the perfect partner who checks all the boxes and has all the things. Would be nice if they existed or whatever. But since we don't live in a perfect world, the reality is that we're not all gonna find somebody who's a 10 out of 10 in every single category. But even though we may not get every single thing that we want in a partner, it's still incredibly important to have standards. And I gotta say that dating now with standards, it's like a whole new world compared to whatever I was doing before. So I also want you to ask yourself, what are the qualities or traits that you absolutely value and the things that you cannot do without? And so whether you're single, taken, or otherwise, I wanna know what some of your minimum requirements are. Like, what's the baseline? And then what's some of the nice to haves and some of the like, not even necessary, we don't even need those things type of stuff. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Now, of course, my life has changed over the years, and so I think it's natural that the things I look for has changed as well. So I'm gonna list some of these things, and none of these are judgments. If I happen to mention a quality or something that I don't prioritize anymore, that's not me saying that you shouldn't prioritize it. You are, of course, free to like what you like and have any deal breakers that work for you. Back when I was younger and a bit more naive in life and love, I prioritized qualities like having a job and having a car and not having a criminal record and things like that. And while those are absolutely still important to me, I just know a lot more now that has allowed me to build out that list and to realize the things that are actually important in the grand scheme of things. Or at least I should say the things that are important to me in the grand scheme of things, because of course everyone is different. So after going through so much and dealing with so much disappointment and heartache, some of the deal breakers that I've learned that I absolutely need in a partner are as follows. My potential partner has to be willing to learn and grow as a person. They have to be willing to match my effort and be equally committed and invested in whatever it is that we're building together. We're not doing no more of that one-sided love type of stuff. Nuh-uh, that's not gonna work. There has to be a physical attraction where we're both very much attracted to one another. They gotta be effective communicators. I am all done with the days of dealing with people who do not know how to communicate. It is not something that I can necessarily hold against them because you only know what you know. But for me, myself personally, it's like banging my head against a brick wall when I'm doing my damnedest to put my good communication skills forward and the person is absolutely not receptive or not able to meet me on that same level. Any person that I'm with has to be considerate and helpful and have a genuinely caring kind of heart. They don't necessarily have to be as empathetic as I am, although that's a definite plus. However, again, we're not doing the one-sided caring, nurturing thing where I care so much that I'm prioritizing their needs, but they're not willing to do the same for me. Nuh-uh. They have to be a provider in some sense of the word. And we talked about this a little bit in that live stream that we did about online dating, friends with benefits, the whole nine. It did run a little bit long, but it was a really engaging conversation the whole way. So I'll link that right there in case you're interested in checking it out. But we were talking about how there are different definitions of what it means to be a man and to be a provider and to be a woman even, and to do all the things that are expected of the role, especially if we're talking traditionally or even non-traditional gender roles. So for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that a provider has to be the sole breadwinner of the relationship, but they damn well better be providing something, whether that's emotional support, a sense of security, TLC, whatever it is, like it better be something. You better be contributing something other than your good looks. And they gotta be willing to contribute as much as I am. I know someone in that same live stream mentioned that they're tired of men who seem to be looking for someone to take care of them. They're looking for like a mommy figure to fill some void that they had earlier in life. And it got real deep because they was on to something there. Obviously not all men are like that, but there are a lot more than we know, right? Who feel a sense of entitlement to their partner's love and affection and attention and aren't necessarily willing to reciprocate and to give all of that in return. Y'all don't get me started. We getting real deep. This was supposed to be like a bullet point list, but y'all got me over here preaching. Can I get an amen? I need someone who's consistent. That means that their moods are pretty stable. I'm not looking for someone who's loving 1 second and then flying off the handle on the other second. That hot and cold stuff and having unpredictable reactions to things just doesn't work for me. Like, no. I need you to be stable. Thank you very much. I have to get the sense that my partner respects women and at least has some sort of empathy for the kind of things that we go through. So chauvinists and anti-feminists need not apply. It will just never work. I can't take it, nor do I want to. And the more that I interact with people and see and hear a lot of the things that men have to say about us, again, not all men, but even among the men who date women and who say they want a relationship with a woman, a lot of them secretly hate us. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret, but you can tell from the comments that there's like a deep-seated like rage based on somebody who hurt them in their past that they haven't quite addressed. And so I'm scared of that. I try to stay far away from people who haven't addressed their past trauma or their past issues, because I don't need them inflicting any of that on me. And that's actually another thing on my list of deal breakers, that the person has to have healed from whatever trauma or crises or mistreatment that they've experienced in their life, or at least be taking active steps to do so. Because again, I am so not down for people inflicting their pain from their past trauma onto me. If it is not something I did to you, if it has nothing to do with me, if it predates me, then I'm gonna need you to work that out and get through that and keep it far, far, far away from me. It is not my place to bear the burdens of your past heartbreaks. Just like you wouldn't want to bear it on mine. Like I said, somebody stop me, please. I'm preaching now. And along similar lines to that are the folks who say that they want a relationship, or they say they're ready for love, but they're absolutely not. And what they're actually looking for, whether or not they know it, is someone to fight with and bicker with. Some people seem to genuinely want a life partner that they can either use as a doormat or a punching bag or a sparring buddy. And if you think about it, I'm sure that you can pinpoint someone that you know of or someone in your life who does this sort of thing. They say they want people around and someone to care about, or someone to care about them, but then their actions and behaviors are so toxic, possibly even manipulative or abusive. And it's like, why would I want to sign up for that? Why exactly would I willingly and knowingly put myself in a situation with someone who just wants to fight and fuss and bicker all the time? My peace of mind is too important for that, all right? And my potential partner also has to believe in God or some sort of higher power. Now, they don't have to believe exactly what I believe. They don't have to be religious. They don't necessarily have to go to church. However, my faith and my spirituality is very important to me. And of course, like I said, everyone can feel free to believe what they want to believe. I do not intend to pressure anyone to feel what I feel or to like impose my views onto anyone. That's not it at all. However, I feel like my faith and God have played such a major role in my life, in my development, in the things that I consider to be blessings to my life. And so I kind of feel like for someone to truly understand me, that they would have to understand that dynamic. So, and this list is definitely always growing and evolving as I discover more about myself and as I have more dating experiences to learn things from, whether that's learning what I definitely like or what I definitely want to stay away from. Not all relationships are gonna last forever. Matter of fact, most of them don't if we really think about it. But I look at all of those experiences as opportunities to learn more about what's truly important to me and to pinpoint what's most important to me when I'm dealing with someone. Now, the things that I don't consider as priorities or that are just not that important to me are things like him having a six-pack. I really don't care. Sometimes they're nice to look at depending on the person, but the whole washboard ab things, it's just not high on my list. He also don't gotta look like Denzel or be a pretty boy or be tall, dark, and handsome. Like, none of my criteria as far as physical attraction are that strict, but I do have to be physically attracted to him. And the feeling's gotta be mutual, like I mentioned before. He also doesn't have to be like the smoothest or most suave guy. I mean, that's nice sometimes, depending, but I feel like that often gives off like Playboy vibes, and then that sets off certain red flags for me. So I'm like, if you too smooth, I'm like, you've been doing this a lot. You had a lot of practice with a lot of people, so I don't know if I could trust it. I also don't require having someone who tells me that they love me every single day. Now, of course, when you're really into someone, especially in the beginning, the I love you moment when you say those 3 little words to each other can be a really big deal to you, or to the relationship for that matter. But once we really know and understand each other and have a rhythm going and we're like here, you know what I mean? And we know exactly what it means to be loved by one another, I don't feel like we have to beat each other over the head with it with constant, I love you too, I love you boo, I love you too, I love you. It's not necessary for me personally, but I know that everyone has a different love language. Oh, and that's another deal breaker. It's important to me that the person I'm with actually makes an effort to speak my love language, even though they may not be perfect at it or they may not be used to it, but to at least acknowledge that there's a certain way that I like to be loved or cared about, and to make an effort to try to actually follow through in those ways. That's a plus. I'm also not impressed by a fancy or expensive car. The person's height is also not as big of a deal to me. If they're into big romantic gestures like candlelit dinners followed by rose petals leading to the bed and a drawn bath and all that. That's nice. It's also not a deal breaker though. When it all comes down to it, what's more important to me is having someone who genuinely cares about me, who actually understands me and has been making efforts to further understand me and what I want and what I need. Someone who inspires me to be better and to do better as I do the same for them. And I don't feel like I'm asking for too much with any of these things, even though some of these are really like big requests, because I know that they're all things that I'm willing to provide in return. So if you were dating me, you'd wish it'd be as easy as buying a dozen roses. I could do that for myself, so it's nice or whatever. But what I require is like actual substance, you know? There's gotta be more than roses to it. I'm not ungrateful, I appreciate it and stuff. But at the same time, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. And roses are simply not gonna be enough to develop and nurture a real relationship over time. Again, they're nice, but it takes a lot more than that. Let me know in the comment section what some of your dating deal breakers are, including some of the things that are not that high on your list. How do you feel about receiving flowers and roses as gifts, or having the candlelit dinners and the romantic bubble baths and all those kind of gestures? Are those things that are important to you? I definitely won't judge if they are. They're amazing, they're awesome, they're wonderful. So I wanna know what your thoughts are, and what are some of your minimum criteria that someone absolutely must meet if they even wanna have a chance at getting to know you? I wanna know, talk to me down there in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do the thumbs up thing. You know I'd appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I know almost half of y'all who watch these videos are not subscribed yet. I don't understand. I don't get it. You keep coming back, so might as well subscribe. YouTube is very busy and very saturated with a lot of content, so you don't want me getting lost in the bunch, do you? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that we can keep in touch. I know that there are 1,000 other things that you could be doing or watching right now, so I certainly appreciate you being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video. And then on Saturday for our live. Don't forget, I really want to see you there. Bye.